What is up, YouTube? Chaos Primary back at you with yet another video. I know it's been a while since my last video, but for the last few weeks I've had to deal with a little son of a bitch called Hurricane Irma. That's right, I live in Florida. We had been affected by Irma. There's still some damage to be repaired, but we are getting back to normal. So that's not the topic of this video. You didn't click on that to hear about Irma. The reason you're here is because you clicked on this video because you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on the brand new iPhones that were released or announced yesterday. Now, yesterday was the keynote, and like I predicted, I was not able to watch it when it first aired. Because, as I predicted, I was called into work much earlier than expected because of the Hurricane Irma that we've got going on. Our hours have been changing at the office, so kind of had to go with the flow. But I was able to watch it when I got home from work, even though I was slightly spoiled by posts on Facebook and Instagram, which I regret seeing. But either way, where to start? Where to start? The first thing that really blew my mind about the unveiling is that I thought they were going to reveal an iPhone 7s. This is the first time ever since the iPhone's inception 10 years ago that they've not released an S model. I mean, they've done an S model for every iPhone. They did the 3G, the 4, the 5, the 6. They didn't do one for the 7. They just went straight to 8. So, you're probably wondering what's so different between the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 8. Well, there's a few things. First of all, the new iPhone 8 will come preloaded running iOS 11, which is the brand new operating system. It has an improved 12-megapixel camera. It looks the same as the one on the iPhone 7, but it has some improved internals for lighting and photo stabilization for if you have shaky hands. The 8 Plus has that as well, especially with the dual lens system. Something that I thought the iPhones would never get is the reason because it has an all-glass body, not just because it wants to go back to their original roots, but also because it supports wireless charging. They did announce that even though they're third-party, but they will be releasing charging pads that you can place your iPhone on so you can do wireless charging. They also revealed a separate charging pad that you can use to charge your iPhone, your Apple Watch, and your AirPods on. But it's a little expensive because it's first party and it supports so many different devices. Because, I mean, you can charge your iPhone 7, you can charge your Apple Watch, or Apple Watches if you have multiple, and you can charge the case for your AirPods. So, all without having to plug them into cables. Whereas the charging pad just for the iPhone 8 and iPhone 10, you can only charge just the phone. It's like the charging pad for the Samsung Galaxies, just lay it on top and it starts charging. So, the iPhone 8 does look very nice. I mean, physically, it doesn't look any different from the iPhone 7, sans the all-glass body, improved antenna bands, running iOS 11, the improved camera, among other things. It will start at the same price as the iPhone 7 did, at $699 and going up to $849. However, there was only 2 size capacities available. When they released the 7 last year, they made it available in 64, 128, and 256 gigabytes. This time, they're only doing 64 and 256. So, the 8 will start at $699 and go up to $849 for the 64 gigabyte model, and the 8 Plus will be $100 more. Now, when they revealed the iPhone 10, as it's called, they played the One More Thing card, which is something that Apple doesn't do very often. That was kind of a trademark of Apple, where it would look like Steve or Tim is about to wrap up the keynote, just give a summary of everything they've talked about, but then they'll say, actually, there is one more thing. The last time this was used was in 2015 at the Worldwide Developers Conference when they introduced Apple Music. And then they also did the same thing in 2014 when they unveiled the Apple Watch. So, it's been a while since that card has been played. But they definitely don't use that term all the time. You know, they save it for special occasions, groundbreaking ones. So, yeah. So the iPhone 10 was kind of released to commemorate a phone that they've wanted to release since the beginning. Like, it has all the fancy bells and whistles you'd ever want in an iPhone. The big point about it is the Face ID scanner, so that way you can unlock it by just waking it up, holding it up to your face, and then just sliding up. Because it's not going to have a home button. There will be no home button on the iPhone 8. You'll just slide up to go back to the home screen, and slide up and pause to get to the same feature as if you were going to, this is where my tongue stops working. Double click on the home button to get all to your apps that are currently open. So you'll slide up halfway and stop to get back to that feature. The power button will be elongated because that will function as the home button or the power button to wake it up, as well as activate Siri. I don't know how you'll be able to do it where you'll be able to turn it off with the home button, or take a screenshot. You may have to use one of the volume buttons, because like I said, it doesn't have a home button. But it is very nice with how it looks. Definitely something to compete against the Galaxy phones. It's something that finally Apple is getting into the competition against Samsung, because finally they have a phone that can go toe-to-toe with them. It is a bit more expensive. It starts at $999 and goes up to $1049. And again, it's released in only those two size capacities. However, the iPhone 10 will not be coming out at the same time as the iPhone 8. I believe they said that the iPhone 10 will start pre-orders on October 27th, which is a Friday, and it will release November 3rd, which I believe is that following Friday. Let me just check my calendar here, and I'll confirm. Yep! Starts on the 27th, released 1 week later, so perfect in time for Christmas if you want to get the phone as a Christmas present for somebody or yourself. But I will tell you that demand will be quite limited. As is the case with most iPhone releases, Apple expects to not have enough units in stock to meet demand. So you're going to want to pre-order it or buy it sooner rather than later, because the longer you take to get it, the longer it's going to take for you to actually get one. Especially within the first month of release. Like, I remember when the AirPods came out back in, I think, October of last year, they weren't going to get them back in stock or ship them until January because of how high the demand was for them. And I even think still today there's still a high demand for them. I'm not really 100% sure. I won't be buying them because I bought these very nice Beats headphones a couple months ago. So there's no need for me to buy the AirPods. The other thing I'm curious about is, like I said in my predictions video, I bought an iPhone 7 case. I'm going to ask Apple for sure, but if any of you know, I'd like to know. Will an iPhone 7 case fit the iPhone 8? Because I don't want to say that I bought a case just for nothing. I like it to actually go to use. I know it won't fit the 6S because of the camera port not lining up. But I will, and also it doesn't have a cutout for the headphone jack. But I will cross that bridge when I get to it. I will ask them when I go to Apple itself, or if any of you know, please drop me a comment. So, yeah, that pretty much is all my thoughts on the new iPhones, the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10. I think they're both very nice phones. I'm hoping to get one of them for Christmas. I think you might know which one already. But yeah, I guess that's about it. Later, guys. I am out of here.